Hello, Chemistry 20s. Our lesson now is going to be on unit conversion, moving from one unit to another. So if we take a look, you actually in your data booklet on page 3 have this exact table. And this is the table we're going to use probably 90% of the time in Chem 20 to jump from one unit to another. So on your table, the one thing I will allow you to do is you can take your pencil and you can draw a line across your table in between the kilo and the milli, please. And that's the only thing you can write on this table. You cannot put these other two little hints here. This is for me in teaching. So when you put this line across, that is going to be called what I like to refer to as the normal line or the normal units. This is where grams would go. Above it, this would be kilograms, this would be grams, this would be milligrams. This is also where liters would go. Kiloliters, liters, milliliters, or even joules. Joules is on the line, kilojoules, and of course millijoules. So the line represents those units that do not need a prefix. This could be pascals or meters or moles, many other units. For every step we go down, we're going to multiply by 1,000. So the way I like to think of this is let's pretend I have my twin brother Cameron and I push Cameron down a step. For every step I push Cameron down, we're going to multiply his bruises by 1,000. So if I push him down 2 steps to go from giga to mega, we multiply by 1,000. To go from mega to kilo, we multiply by another 1,000. Now the opposite of that is also true. So if I go up on this scale. So if I go from kilo to mega, for every step you go up, rather than multiply by 1,000, you're going to divide by 1,000. And honestly, it's that simple. So what I want to do with you is let's do an example. So let's go from 5 kilometers and change it to meters, or 5 kilometers and go to meters. So here's where kilometers would be on this. Meters would be on the normal line. So we're going to go down 1 step. So take 5 kilometers. For every 1 kilometer, there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So we're going to write it so that the units will cancel off. You're going to put the 1,000 meters on top, the kilometer on the bottom, because kilo on the top, kilometer on the bottom, they're going to cancel out. The trick to this is, can we remember that if the numbers are on top, we will multiply them. So 5 times 1,000. And if there's a number on the bottom, we divide. So 5 times 1,000 divided by 1, my answer is going to come out to be 5,000 meters. That's the unit I have left. So let's try one of these for ourselves. We're going to start with gigajoules. We're going to convert it to megajoules. Then we're going to convert it to kilojoules. So we are going to go through 2 steps. Now, the conversion between giga and mega is there's 1,000 megajoules in a gigajoule. So we're going to multiply 1,000 megajoules in 1 gigajoule. So gigajoules are on top, gigajoules are on the bottom. They're going to cancel out. Now we're going to multiply by 1,000 again because there are 1,000 kilojoules in a megajoule. So again, megajoules are on top, megajoules are on bottom. The key to this is if the numbers are on top, we multiply. So in your calculator, we're going to take 1.2 times by 1,000, enter, times by another 1,000, enter. And we're going to get 1,200,000 kilojoules. Because again, if we look, all the units are canceled out except kilojoules. And I want it to be that easy. So let's try another one. So this time though, we're gonna go up. So we have 120 milliliters. I would like to change it into liters. We're gonna go up 1 step. So again, remind ourselves, there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. So that our units will cancel out, we're gonna put the milliliters on the bottom. So I have milliliters on the top, milliliters on the bottom, they cancel. Remember, if the number's on top, we multiply. So 120 times 1. If it's on the bottom, we divide. So divided by 1,000. So 120 divided by 1,000 is going to be 0.120 liters. Again, let's try this example. Let's take the fact that we have millimeters, and let's go up 2 steps to kilometers. So again, the connection is there's 1,000 millimeters in a meter. So knowing that, we're going to put that on the bottom. 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. So millimeters on top, millimeters on bottom, they're going to cancel out. Now we're going to convert meters to kilometers. Again, there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So I put them on the bottom so I can cross out meters on the bottom, meters are on top. Again, I'm going to remind you, you multiply numbers on the top, you divide them on the denominator. So 33,000 divided by 1,000, enter. Divided by again by 1,000, enter. And my answer is going to be 0.033 kilometers. Only unit I have left. Okay, let's go forward. I would like you to pause the video and I would like you to try these 3 for yourself, please. When you're ready to check your answer, unpause. Okay, if we're going from 30.5 liters to milliliters, we're going to go from here at the normal line down to milliliters. So I'm going to start by writing 30.50 liters. I know there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. So liters on top, liters on bottom. I know I set it up right. I'm going to take 30.5 and times by 1,000. So this is going to be 30,500 milliliters. Let's do the next question. I'm going to go from joules, which is the normal unit, to kilojoules, and then from kilojoules to megajoules. So start by writing out 450,000 joules. Now I know there's 1,000 joules in a kilojoule, so I'm going to put the 1,000 on the bottom so that my joules will cancel out. Joules on top, joules on bottom. I also know that there's 1,000 kilojoules in a megajoule. So I'm going to cross them out by putting the kilojoules on the bottom. Again, the only number I have on the top is 450,000, so I'm going to divide by 1,000, enter. I'm going to divide by 1,000 again, and my answer is going to be 0.45 megajoules. Third one, I'm going to go from kilograms, which is right here, to grams, from grams to milligrams, so I can reuse that arrow over here. So I'm going to start by writing down, I have 85 kilograms. Now, I know that there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram. So I'm going to set it up so kilograms are on top and bottom, and they cancel out. I know that there is 1,000 milligrams in a gram, so top and bottom, so they cancel. And I'm going to take 85, multiply it by 1,000, enter, multiply it by another 1,000, and this is going to be 85 million milligrams. Okay, hopefully you got those right. So let's move this a little bit down here just for us. So again, I want to point out, sometimes the units aren't perfect. It's not perfect groups of 1,000. For instance, time doesn't work perfectly. But the nice thing about time is we tend to know the factors for time. 60 seconds in 1 minute, 60 minutes in 1 hour, 24 hours in a day. So if I give you 4.5 minutes, we just need to know the connection. Well, since there's 60 seconds in 1 minute, we're going to put the minute on the bottom so that the units will cancel. And we're going to multiply across the top. 4.5 times 60, 270. The only unit I have left is seconds. So what I would like for us to do is, let's try this question together as a group. We're going to change seconds into hours. So the first thing we have to ask ourselves is, what do we know about seconds? Well, I think we all know there's 60 seconds in a minute. So we're going to put 60 seconds on the bottom and a minute on the top. This way my seconds will cancel out. Now, if I divide by 60, I've got it in a minute. So now to change it into hours, we know there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So again, minutes are going to cancel. And if we take 79,200 and we divide it by 60 and hit enter, and then we divide it by 60 again and hit enter, I think we are going to find that that is 22 hours. Now, I know I have some physics people in here, and they probably know a trick already from taking physics, and so they are certainly welcome to know it. If you know another connection between things and you would like to use it, go ahead and use it. So I know I've got physics people in the room who go, Mr. Kemp, I don't have to convert to minutes, then to hours. I know that there's 3,600 seconds in an hour, or that there's 3,600 seconds in an hour. And ideally, that's just 60 times 60. And so they are allowed to go, hey, 79,200 divided by 3,600, because the seconds are going to cancel, and they're going to get 22 hours as well. I don't care which way you do it. If you have a physics background and you know something about time that other people don't know, please use it. It's not about you doing it my way, except for I have to see your work, because I know this is going to get more difficult in the very first formula that we use. Okay, I would like you to pause the video. I would like you to try these three for yourself. Unpause the video when you're ready. So I have 11.8 hours. I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So hours on top, hours on the bottom. So 11.8 times 60 is going to be roughly 0.196 repeating minutes. Again, we've got 2,070 seconds. I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So I'm going to cross out my seconds, tops and bottoms. So when I take 2,070 and I divide it by 60, I'm going to get 34.5 minutes. And last but not least, 36 hours. Again, if you want to take the shortcut because you understand it, but I'm going to do the long route. I know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. I also know that there is 60 seconds in 1 minute. So minutes are going to cancel. Hours are going to cancel. I'm going to take 36 times 60 times 60 and get 129,600 seconds. I think we all expected 36 hours. It was going to have a lot of seconds. Let common sense kick in, especially on units that you know like time. Does the number make sense? Okay, last but not least, I'm going to do this one as kind of a challenge. If you want to pause and try it yourself, or if you just want to watch me do it to see how I would think through this, it's just about unit canceling. I'm going to cancel out the kilometers first to get kilometers to meters, because I want meters per second. So I know there's 1,000 meters in every kilometer. So kilometers cancel. If I multiply by 1,000, I now have meters per hour. I'm getting closer to meters per second. Hours, I know that there is 60 minutes in 1 hour. So hours on top, hours on bottom. Now my unit on top is meters per minute, getting closer. I know that there is 60 seconds in a minute. Minutes on top, minutes on bottom. So to type this in my calculator, 30 times 1,000, enter, divided by 60, because we're in the denominator, divided by 60 again, because we're in the denominator. And my answer is going to come out to be 8.3 repeating. And my unit on top is meters. And my unit on bottom is seconds. Again, if you need any practice on this, please, please, please go to Khan Academy. They're going to have you. Their questions are actually easier than mine. It's just extra practice, and I think it's very, very worthwhile. Thank you very much.